You're listening to the Mindful Mama podcast, episode number 142. Today, we're going to be talking about how to survive the holidays mindfully. Welcome to the Mindful Mama podcast. Here, it's about becoming a less irritable, more joyful parent. At Mindful Mama, we know that you cannot give what you do not have. When you have calm and peace within, then you can give it to your children. I'm your host, Hunter Clarke-FIELDS, Mindful Mama Mentor. I coach overstressed moms on how to cultivate calm in their daily lives and create more peace and cooperation in their families. I've been practicing mindfulness for over 20 years. I'm the creator of the Mindful Parenting course, and I'm the author of the upcoming new book, Raising Good Humans, a mindful guide to breaking the cycle of reactive parenting and raising kind, confident kids. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to connect again. Dear listener, is this your first time listening to the podcast? A special welcome to you. Some podcasts are interviews and some podcasts are just talk. Me to you. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to be talking about how to survive the holidays. And this time of year can feel crazy. It can feel insane. It can make us want to write a bazillion to-do lists. But I'm hoping these tips will really help you make the holidays more simple, more enjoyable, more full of that connection and that magic that we really want to have, right? So how do we do that? How do we create that connection and magic? That's what we're going to be talking about. You're going to get some tips, specifically 7 tips. I can't remember my numbers. 7 tips to help you do that. So I'm excited for you to hear this podcast. Before we dive in, I just want to let you know that there are all kinds of cool things coming up. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I'm doing workshops in my local area. You can find those at mindfulmamamentor.com/events. I'm doing some Mindful Mama workshops in Pennsylvania and Delaware. And I'm also taking a group of moms to Costa Rica, April 13th through 20th. And I invite you to check out that also at mindfulmamamentor.com. It's pretty gonna be amazing. And I'm not sure when I'm gonna do it again. So jump on it now. Join me now. It's gonna be great. I can tell you more about that later, but let's dive into these tips, shall we? Okay, here we go. So when we're thinking about the holidays, we want to think about, this is tip number 1, is that I want you to really decide what's important to you and your family, right? So when we have kids, we have to kind of evaluate and reevaluate often as they grow how we do the holidays, right? What are the traditions that you really enjoy and want to implement? What are the ones you might want to leave behind? Some traditions may really resonate with you and some may not. So do you travel or do you stay home? Do you limit gifts? Do you eat the same thing every year? Do you always make the gingerbread house? So this is the time to now, before the holidays get really, really rolling, is to talk with your partner and your kids and decide what are the most important things that you want to include in the holidays for your family, right? And this can be hard because it can mean letting go of some things and possibly disappointing others. But it also means leaning into the things that are important and meaningful to you, which, brings a certain freedom and joy. So decide what's important to you. Is it important to you to go cut down your own tree? Maybe that's something that's important to you. Maybe it's important to you to snuggle in your pajamas and read books. Maybe that's important to you. Decide what's important to you. Whatever your holiday traditions are, whatever cultural traditions you have, think about what really resonates with you. And I hereby give you permission to choose to leave some behind and to make some of your own. So take a moment to have that conversation. What is important to us? Or to me, if you're single parenting, and how can I make the holidays feel in alignment with the way I really want to live? So number 2, That's number one. Decides what is important to you and your family. Number two, keep it simple. Keep it simple, mama. It's okay. Please be okay with not doing it all and not doing it perfectly. You don't have to do all the things. I invite you to just pick one craft for Thanksgiving or Christmas, like not 5. If, just pick one if it isn't something that like really calls to you, and that's really something that lights you up, right? So if these things end up being like to-do lists, then just simplify it. Just do one. Only make 2 types of cookies or treats instead of 6. Pick a few of the really important things or traditions and do these. And this is really important. Less can be more, because it's kind of like the pile of toys, right? If your child has a huge pile of toys, they are not valuing what's in the middle of that pile. They don't even have the attention for it. But if there's more spaciousness, if there's less, we can bring our attention to what we're doing and what is happening in a more deliberate way. We can savor those things in a more deliberate way when we have space and time around them. And that's true for your kids. Sometimes we tend to think kids want their life to be stacked and full and do one thing after another. But that's actually not true. Like, kids need space and time. They need time to digest things. They need time to let their minds wander and to do weird, quirky kid things that they do. So pick a few of the really important things and do those. Less is more. And for the recovering perfectionists out there, right? If you are a recovering perfectionist, I invite you to really let go of the unrealistic expectations of perfectionism and really embrace the mess and that whatever, say you've done a craft that just came out okay. Embrace it. Let it be part of the journey. And part of keeping it simple, one thing we do, you may have heard of this 4-gift rule. Maybe you haven't. So if you haven't, I'm so excited to give this to you, because when I heard this 4-gift rule, I was like, this is perfect. This makes sense. So, I know this is coming from a place of privilege, coming from a place of, we've got the resources to give 4 gifts.Maybe you may be listening and may not have those resources. So do what works for you. But many of us go way on the other side, right? We want abundance and we want excitement and things like that. So it's hard. It can be hard for some of us to simplify. And so this is for you if it is hard for you to simplify. This is a brilliant 4-gift rule. So you give something they want, something they need, something to wear, and something to read. So something they want, something they need, something to wear, something to read. It's like a song too, which is cool. I do this 4-gift rule for my girls, and that helps myself and Bill just kind of like figure out how we're going to do things. Sometimes he does the something to read. I do something to wear. We both talk about what they want and they need. And a little out I give myself for like a place for a little more like crazy abundance for Christmas, that we celebrate Christmas in our family, is their stocking presents. And I give myself permission to buy lots of little things because I think it's just so fun to open presents. So I let them open up presents that way. So this is all part of tip number 2. Keep it simple. Be okay with not doing it all and not doing it perfectly. And part of keeping it simple is that 4-gift rule. Something they want, something they need, something to wear, and something to read. Pretty simple, right? We can do this. All right. Tip number 3, holiday survival guide. Say no. Say no. You knew this was coming. You knew, didn't you? You knew this was coming. So there are always going to be more parties, more requests, more events to attend than we can actually do, than we actually physically have time for. It's okay to say no. And when we say no to something, we also say yes to something else, like maybe more quality time with the people we love. We can also say no to the materialism, right? More gifts do not mean more happiness. The truth is actually that our kids want more of us, not more of the things that come from us. Although, oh my gosh, Sora won't let me alone about a hamster. She has just drawn pictures about a hamster. She is on a hamster campaign. I swear, it's crazy. It's hamster, hamster, hamster. Oh my God. We'll see. I'll have to let you know if I got the hamster or not. But number 3, say no. Look, I need to listen to my own advice. Hunter, say no to the hamster. Say no. There's more events than we can do. So please, I give you permission, say no, and say yes to some spaciousness sometimes, some not feeling crazy. Okay? A little caveat in this tip for if you have a new baby. If you have a new baby, just want to tell you, it is not your job to show off your baby and entertain the masses. Your baby is not on holiday parade. And it's not a good idea to jeopardize your family's rhythm, rest, and sanity for the desires of others. So I give you permission to put your own needs and your family's needs first. And you have an automatic excuse to leave any party early or decline an invitation altogether. If you have a baby, you're overwhelmed new parents. So your extended family may or may not empathize, but you have that permission. Okay. So tip number 4 is say yes. Yay! Say yes to snuggles. Say yes to playing a game. Oh my gosh. Wait till you guys have to look. You have to look. Not you guys. It's you. I'm getting it. Say yes to playing games. And you have to check out my Instagram and see the crazy vintage Uno that my grandfather sent me. Still in packaging from 1970. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to play that with my kids. So say yes to playing Uno or whatever game you want to play. Say yes to snuggles. Say yes to reading a book on the couch or under the Christmas tree, the menorah, beside the menorah. That would be a very big menorah if it's underneath. Or, say yes to, this one is hard for me. Say yes to hot chocolate when you want to say no. I often want to say no to that, but it brings such joy, right? So let's do that. Say yes to being present, to slowing down and to being with your child, being really present. So say yes. That is tip number 4. Tip number 3, say no. Tip number 4, say yes. Breathe. I'm interrupting the podcast to invite you to imagine listening to the ocean and feeling the warm breeze on your face. Imagine seeing little monkeys and smelling the fragrance of a tropical orchid while looking out at a vista of islands and endless ocean. This will be your reality when you join me for the Mindful Mama Costa Rica retreat next April. We'll be staying in a luxurious private estate, which has a view to the beach over the rainforest canopy from every room, as well as from the yoga porch and the infinity pool. Join me and other mindful mamas with each day designed to have a perfect balance of time for yoga, mindfulness, discussion, and free and open time so you can either make it adventurous, go hiking, learn to surf, kayak through the mangroves, go ziplining or more, or make it relaxing. Instead of adventures, relax poolside or wander down to the beach. We'll start each day with meditation and all levels yoga on the yoga porch. Every afternoon, we'll come together for guided relaxation and coaching and discussion with me. Locally sourced foods will be served at breakfast and dinner by our talented in-house chef. If you want to get away from everything and take the break that I know you deserve, join me. We have limited spots available, so now is the time to reserve. at mindfulmamamentor.com/Costa Rica or email me at hunter@mindfulmamamentor.com. That's mindfulmamamentor.com/Costa Rica or email me at hunter@mindfulmamamentor.com. I can't wait for you to join me there.
Breathe.
Tip number 5, take care of you. Oh my gosh. When you care for yourself, you are caring for those you love as well, right? So it's time to set aside the mommy guilt and do something life-giving to you, right? To go on a date with your partner, go to coffee with a friend, sit and read a book, stop and just do nothing, right? Go get a massage, go for a walk in this beautiful place, some beautiful place around you. Go work out. Give yourself the gift of being of you. Give yourself the gift of you who's well taken care of, right? This is a really good thing. And when your cup is full, you have so much more to give others. And just going back to what we said, like your kids want your presence. They want you to be really present and attentive to them, right? And you can do that when you have given to yourself. You can't just give and give and give to everybody and not give to yourself. You should be number one on your priority list. Give to yourself. Take care of you. Do it, mama. Don't be a mommy martyr. Don't be a mommy martyr for the holidays. That's still a time to put your needs at the top of your list. Number 6, remember those in need. So it can seem really crazy to think about serving others if we're in a place where we can barely take a shower or get food on the table or whatever the carpool schedule or keep your toddler safe every day. But oftentimes serving someone else in need really brings a lot of unexpected kind of contentment and joy and helps us to lift our eyes to the bigger picture in this world, right? You can take someone a meal, you can bake cookies with your kids and take them to a friend. You can drop off a bag of food at the food bank or donate a toy to a child, right? There's many, many simple and practical things we can do to make our world better, one small act of kindness at a time. And I think the holidays is a really important time to think about giving. And one thing I do to do this, to teach it to my daughters, is that I give my girls some money to donate every year at the holidays. I give them each $50 to donate to different causes. And sometimes they split it between causes. But what's cool is that they get time to search and see what is most meaningful to them, what they care about. And then they donate, and they take some of their money from their allowance, from their donate bucket that they have filled during the year, and they can add that to my base donation. So I think this is a practice, a tradition that I really cherish, that I'm teaching them to give back in this way. So you can do this too. Like you can keep it really simple, drop off some food at the food bank, or you can donate a toy. But just make this a time to remember those in need. It can really make the magic of the holidays just come across in a much deeper way. And so finally, my last tip, and I have a few little thing I want to add on after this, is to begin and end your day with quiet. And especially with some mindfulness meditation. So I know this is so much easier said than done. I know. Many kids are like jumping out of bed every day by 6 a.m. And, many of us are totally wiped out by 8 p.m. on normal days, let alone during the holidays. But give it a try. For even just 5 minutes, you can try some of these things, right? You can just sit silently. You can read a poem or some scripture or something inspiring to think about, right? You can light a candle. You can listen to soft music. You can go for a walk. You can lie down and think about all the things that you're grateful for. You can meditate. This is a great time to bring some meditation into your life, to really ground into your life. And that helps to increase your sense of well-being in every single way, helps to reduce your anxiety, reduce depression, increase your well-being. So you can find my own free guided meditations on mindfulmamamentor.com/resources and on the Insight Timer app, which is an app that goes on your phone, has a lot of meditations, but you can find me there too. So you can meditate with me. That would be nice. Quieting our hearts, quieting our minds in this crazy, busy, noisy world is not so easy to do sometimes. I get it, but is so needed and so worthwhile. And it's one of the keys to you being really, really present for the holidays. So these are my 7 things, and I'm going to add a little piece of this on the end that I really like from Alicia Assad. But number 1, decide what's important to you and your family. Evaluate what is important to you. Number 2, keep it simple. Number 3, say no. Number 4, say yes. Say yes to snuggles and hot chocolate. Number 5, take care of you. Number 6, remember those in need. And number 7, begin or end your day with quiet. And I really wanted to include this, since I think this is so beautiful, from Alicia Assad, and it's her holiday survival list using some of the concepts that she has from positive psychology. So number 1, other people matter. Case in point, she writes, an intervention in the form of a dinner with authentic friends. Now and throughout the year, kindle those relationships. Life is complicated, and we need to be surrounded so we can love and be loved. So beautiful, right? I love that. Number 2, laughter. Yep. Good old make your stomach hurt laughter. It will shift everything. And then, go back to number 1 there, right? Those authentic friends. Number 3, gratitude. Count your blessings. Crowded stores mean that you have the means to be a consumer. The holiday cards mean you have amazing people in your life to acknowledge. Cranky, overstimulated children mean you have a home filled with life and laughter. So when you're kind of going towards grinchiness, just, look for those blessings and let that carry you to a more positive place. Number 4, self-compassion. It's what we've been threaded through this whole podcast today. Take breaks, put your feet up, do that dinner with friends, all those things, right? And number 5 on the holiday survival list, joy. And I just think that's so beautiful in the small moments, right? And she said, for me, joy was the moment my 3-year-old squealed with delight about the start of the holiday season. I love that, right? So read those holiday stories. If you want, find those small moments of delight in your kids and, look for and lean into those positive emotions that go from person to person. So listen, whether you're bounding with joy to have sugar plum fairies dancing in your head, or the thought of the upcoming season makes you want to go in a hole and take a nap, let these tips help you and your family over the next weeks and in this season. I hope this season ahead brings you unexpected joy and sweet memories with those you love. So I hope you can be present, mindful, and awake and aware to be really there for these holidays, right? To let that love in, let that joy in. So wishing you beautiful, beautiful, happy holidays, my friend. Namaste. Thank you to DJ Taz Rashid for this wonderful song, Inspiration Drive. Go ahead and download his album, Live in Love, on Apple Music or on Spotify or wherever you listen to music.